Hey, how's it going, guys? I see there's a couple of you. Filtered in. It's undone. Pilot XJ. How you guys doing? Hopefully you're having a great day so far. So, sorry, I'll try not to cough into my microphone or anything like that, but I've been sick all day, unfortunately. But on the upside, I prepped all this stuff to do this build, so it should actually be pretty quick. Anyway, I'm gonna move over and we can actually pull this thing out and get started. Might as well, right? If anybody else filters in, great. Oh, looks like that's happening. Anyway, I'm gonna get to it. Move over to the soldering station area. Hey, how's it going? Hey, is the music volume too loud or whatever? Just let me know if anybody thinks it is. All right. Like I said, since I've been sick, I pretty much had like all the time in the world today, like in between napping, to prep all the parts for this. So everything's already. Isn't it nice when that? I wish that part could just be done for me. Oh yeah, it'll be. I'll have to fix it. I don't think I'm gonna fix that right now, but it'll be a little different when I move the. Well, when I move this up. I think maybe I should change it from black. I'll have to do that next stream. I'm using stream elements, so going and changing that will be a little, I don't want to say it's crazy difficult, but it won't be the, I don't know, there are other simpler ways. Anyway, without ado, and without doxing anybody, bow. Right, doing a nice Alice build today. You know I know. Hey, how's it going, Jackstastic? You know, it's funny. I never really thought I'd be super into red cubes in general, or all about them anyway. And I have two, like a TX84 and a TX84 SE in red. And I think this is, I don't know, I still like the pink ones a lot, but this is a really, really amazingly nice color. And so we're also gonna solder on some SMD LEDs. I already did a bunch of them, most of them actually, and the controller, because, well, again, I've been sick today, so I had tons of time on my hands. And I didn't want to make you guys watch me solder on literally 18. And it's probably a good thing that I did, because one of the LEDs that was sent was bad. Like only the green LED in it worked. Oh, you have the pink one and you like the red one better? Yeah, I really like it a lot. Anyway. This little guy was bad and I had to remove him, which takes time, right? Anyway, we're definitely gonna solder all that on. We're gonna fix it all up. So when I threw this back together, I only threw 4 screws in it. The rest of those guys are right there. Anyway. Get him apart. Yeah, I don't know. I wish that I was in the hobby when the Alice came out and then I had gotten one, because the prices now compared to the prices that they were looking. I was like looking at the original group buy post, man. I don't know, the next time TGR releases a board, I gotta get in on it. And I gotta just be one of those lucky few in the beginning, right? There's a screw in there. There it is. Anyway, yeah, I didn't think that I'd love red keyboards so much as I do. It's not my favorite color. Blue is my favorite color. But I don't know. I pretty much like all of the red keyboards that I have. That Salamander, red TX84 SC. And if this were mine, I would love its color too. It looks amazing. And the finish is beautiful. I don't know if probably a little too much direct light for you guys to see it that clearly. Yeah, it's great. It is beautiful. Anyway, let's move all this stuff out of the way. So it's not getting all scratched up or anything. These 2.5s. It's a terrible board, yeah. I know, right? It should just go directly in the trash, but it's not mine, it's someone else's, so unfortunately, I just have to give it back to him. Can't toss it. It's I don't know, the more I handle these though, the more I kind of want one. Like, of almost any color. All of them I've seen are beautiful. And pretty flawless otherwise too. Okay, so what is the deal with people using screws that are not that magnetic? I don't like it. No sir, I don't like it one bit. Let's separate these pieces off. So in a sec I'll show off the bottom of the PCB and show you guys my SMD work. And then we'll solder on the couple remaining ones. I'll kind of discuss how it worked and yeah, they're afraid of magnets. Magnets, how do those work? Yeah, so anyway, this guy's going about as all out as I would go on an Alice. He's not doing in-switch LEDs, but we are going to solder in his indicators. And we're doing the SMD stuff, and he does have the diffuser. Which I'm guessing he wants installed on it for return, although I'm not sure. That's okay, the customer may jump on and let me know. Not that it matters, that's an easy fix, right? So anyway, there we go. Pow. So I soldered all these guys on, and this controller right here. For anybody that hasn't done one of these before, the right order, right, is to solder this controller on, which is much simpler than you might think. Everything, all these pads are pre-tinned and have some solder on them, enough to adhere. So what you do is you take some flux. I'm using a flux pen, this flux pen specifically, or helps if it's right side up. And you know, press down to make sure flux gets to the tip, and then you touch the pads, set your SMD device down, and hold it with tweezers, just one side. You'll see when I do these, but solder the controller on first, right? So you're gonna set it down with the little dot. I don't have a microscope, although that is an investment I will be making. So in the upper left corner right there of that chip. You know what? In the upper left corner of that chip, you can see there's a little dot. And so, literally, you just tack one of those corners down, probably that one, although it doesn't have to be that one. So yeah, you tack that corner down, and it may be not perfectly aligned, so you know, you can kind of move it just a little bit and tack another corner down, and you can wiggle it back and forth, or you can just move that until it is perfectly aligned with solder on that one pad, and then tack the rest of them down. Another method is drag soldering if there weren't solder pre-tinned on those pads, but in this case there is, and you could look up drag soldering if you ever get to a board where there isn't. It's easy enough. Anyway, so yeah, we got these two left, so we're gonna do those real quick, but before we do that, I'm gonna actually plug this thing in to show you that they work. And I already smoke tested this PCB before touching it. I didn't do that on camera, but I can real quick for you guys. So yeah, I turned the brightness way down already so that it doesn't blind the camera, but yeah. So there's two left. We'll get to those. Oop, yeah, and I have them rotating through a pattern. Even though they're white, now you can see them all, I guess. I'm not gonna wait for it because it's slow. Slow transitions. So yeah, before we do that, actually, we'll smoke test them just to show you guys. We're backward, right? Yes, this should be backspace. What? Am I looking? Oh yeah, we're upside down, so everything's tilted the wrong direction. Okay, boom, boom. Trying to watch them actually actuate on the screen too. So it just has the default map on it right now, and I'm not 100% sure what the customer wants. I'm going to test the other B also right now, just to make sure. Shift and this function, so that's not going to do anything. Oh, nope. Helps if I do that. Okay. Did I do that Windows one already? Okay. Shift. Yeah, we'll do that. So anyway, you guys have any buys that you're on the lookout for? I've somebody contacted me about one of the viewers here. I don't know if he's in here right now. I haven't looked, but somebody contacted me about a cool vintage Alps kind of like group buy kind of deal. That's kind of cool. I don't know how much details are public, so I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but when it comes there will be a rebuild. Oh, helps if I don't lose focus on that. Yeah, anyway, but when it comes, I'll just test all three of those right now. When it comes, there will be a build associated. I will say that. I already tested that row. Okay, so QWER. ONT was over here. That's right. I guess I already did that one. Did I miss 7 before? Yep. Okay. Anyway, so you guys can kind of tell everything is functional. We're gonna pull this guy. Yeah, it's well, I haven't seen any public stuff on it, so I think it's private. He didn't say specifically don't say anything to anybody, but I'm guessing it's private because there's no public information about it. But yeah, like I said, I guess if anybody's actually interested in knowing about that kind of thing, I'll contact the person and ask him if that's a thing. Oh, I should turn the soldering iron on, huh? We're gonna need that in a sec. I won't use this flex pen yet. Anyway, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's try and remember. I think these don't. Yeah, we're just gonna install those LEDs last. Because not the SMD LEDs, the through hole ones. The SMD ones we're definitely gonna do right now. Anyway, yeah, I think you guys, anybody who's watched my thing before knows that I'm a really big Alps fan. Pretty much all Alps stuff is good to me. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I think I'm even less stringent on Alps stuff than most of the other streamers for sure, or personalities that have comments on Alps in general, in that I pretty much I'll even take black Alps. Even bamboo black Alps are fine by me. They're not like my favorite thing in the world, but they can be really, really good. So yeah, I'm just getting some flux on these pads for this guy so that the solder will flow onto the metal components. It won't sit around and pool up in all the wrong places. And then we're going to take the keyed section. If you're looking close, there's a keyed indicator on this corner. And then there's one on this little LED also. I don't know if you guys all know how to do SMD soldering or not, but there's a little notch on this upper corner. Anyway, we're going to take this little guy. We're going to put him down right there. We're going to try and center him. It doesn't have to be perfect though. Perfect isn't required. Side to side seems to be more finicky than the up and down. More horizontal orientation, just slightly, not like a ton. Then we're gonna clean our tip pretty good, and this is actually fairly important when you do this kind of work. You don't want to have a ton of crusty junk. Hey, how's it going, Tiny Shiny Crumb? How you doing? Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we will tack down just this one corner first. Once it's flowed on there, it's now pretty solid, as you guys can tell. I guess I should probably just zoom in a little bit more, since we're doing SMD work, huh? Yeah, so now it's pretty firmly in place. It won't go anywhere easily, right? I can move the board by it. But I kind of want to make sure that it's in place well. Reflow it. No, I shouldn't have done it. Yep, shouldn't have done that. I should not have. I'm gonna put a little more flux on there. Why mess with a good thing? Where does the Pikachu emote come from? Oh, nice. Congrats to not being at work anymore. I didn't go into work today because I was sick, so I kind of understand. Except it wasn't for awesome reasons that I wasn't at work. And I'm traveling tomorrow, so, which I'm looking forward to, but it sucks that I'll be, I don't know. Part of it is allergies. I know that to a certain large extent, there's like a bunch of dust going on right now where I'm at. And so that's just the way of things sometimes. So it's a good idea when you do this kind of work. We can just test each LED as it comes online, right? So yep, that one works. And then inspect it to make sure that it looks like the connections are actually pretty good. This one is probably the worst aligned one of all the ones I put on here vertically, but it's still fine. It's still actually pretty good. Good enough. Two of them are just a little bit wonky, and I could make them way better, like perfect. This one is a little lifted because the solder glob on one of the pads was a little big, and then this one now is a little bit, it's not off center. I mean, the contacts are more than halfway touching and are definitely joined up electrically. Like, they're not at risk. It's just, you know, I want it to be as perfect as it can. But all four corners are tagged down now, so it'd be pretty big hassle to move it, especially since it's good. That's why it's kind of good to get that first pin aligned really well. And so this time my head might get in the shot because it's definitely easier to be a little bit more all up in it in terms of aligning. Okay, so a good tactic, by the way, is to tack down that one corner and then tack down an opposing corner like this by pushing down while you're doing it. And you'll see the LED kind of sink just a little bit. Then you can go back to this other corner and push it down. And that'll displace a bunch of the solder, push it out the side so that it makes contact with the side of the pad instead of the bottom, and it just flattens the LED down to the surface of the board. You can tell that you're heating this thing up a lot when the film on the top of this, I doubt you guys just saw it, but the film on this ever so slightly changes tint the plastic. I mean, this is gonna work just fine, but you can tell that you're adding a lot of heat to it when that happens. So, you know, you try not to do that. Boopy bep. They're Twitch Prime only emotes. I didn't even know that. Oh, that's good to know. I had no clue. Anyway, pretty bored. It's all, you know, functional now. In terms of the colors, the R's, the G's, and the B's. Anyway, we have one extra. The actual kit comes with two extra, but I had to use one because one of them was actually bad. So these will go back to this will go back to the customer. But I just wanted you guys to know that thing can happen, and I wanted you guys to see me do a couple of them, so that, you know, nobody, I don't know, just so you guys knew, so you knew what was going on, how to do that, because I absolutely think that that's important skill if you're going to be soldering. This is about the extent of the, like, real SMD, well, no, I mean, I fixed stuff, right, but this is probably as much SMD soldering as I would want to take on in any regular job, build, stream job that I take. Mostly because, well, I mean, SMD work is hard. Well, it's time consuming. It's tedious. I don't love it. And I like touching cool keyboards. I mean, if you have Amazon Prime, you can connect it with your Twitch account and get Twitch Prime. Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. So anyway, we're building this with these lubed Yok pandas. Holy Panda clones, whatever. Can't make your own custom emotes too. Yeah, I think I can make one now that I'm an affiliate. And I think you have to be a partner to get more. Right? I'm pretty sure that's the case. I mean, Nathan Kim is a partner now, right? I think he had one before, and now he's got a bunch, right? So I'm fairly certain that's how it works. Probably. Yeah, probably something else. Brown Alps, maybe? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think a custom emote should be? Like, what would be a cool custom emote for the Keebs scene in general? So, I don't know if you guys knew this, but these are fairly tight. Alice plates are fairly tight, and the Yoks and the Jesus switches go in pretty snug because they're pretty big in terms of their tolerances. Their tolerances are maybe not perfect either, is what I'm saying. You get a couple more in here to support that center. This big, heavy brass plate. No thumb condoms. It feels raw, man. Yeah. So, yeah. No comment on the thumb condom. Not doing that. Not doing it. Get this B in here. And get a couple more. I'm not going to put any of the bottom row in because with the Alice I definitely have to do some alignment with actual switches or with actual keycaps on there because I definitely don't remember all of its nuances. Make sure all these pins are straight. Those all look pretty straight. Then we'll get it started by why would I do this? Why would I do this without doing the stabs first? I did this the time that I did an Alice before, where I was, like, I already started doing this part before I even got stabs on. You're making a plastic Alice. Okay. You're making it out of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, I'm guessing? Well, I'm fairly sure. Making a plastic Alex CNC, not laser cut. Are you gonna use his open source where the body is squared, or are you gonna do the one that actually has this shape on the outside too? And if you are, you need to hit me up because ultra high molecular weight polyethylene is an amazing material. I love it. I've loved it for a long time. I'm totally down to have a keyboard made out of it. Please, please. Please contact me, Reddit or Discord, wherever. In. Totally in. What's your timeline? Out of curiosity, like when are you planning on, are you going to do a group buy, small group buy, big group buy, private, public? Well, you said something about it, so public-ish. Anyway. Okay, you're using it'll. Okay, you modeled it to look like the original, which is great. Check the Irma on. I have checked it out, and it looks really interesting. And I'm probably. When does that group buy run? That's, I think, because it was an interest check, right, recently. It's not like a group buy yet. Am I correct on the Irma? I am happy that they're in the US. That's pretty cool. Oh, you did? Ooh. Anyway, I'm kind of down for that too, honestly. It depends on timing. I.e., I need to, you know, have the cash to join it when it's up. Okay, so he wants split right shift. Otherwise, it's all standard ANSI. Well, as standard ANSI as an Alice gets otherwise, right? Project keyboard, Telestron. Yes, interest check. What are both of your guys' time like? Man. Yeah, I know I need to also now. Dang it. I'm pretty stoked about that. That's kind of awesome. After this, I'm going to jump on Geekhack and start following the interest check for it. Catch back up on it. I remember when Top Clack announced it. Was that like 3 or 4 weeks ago? I was like, ooh, ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. Super down. Man, I'm totally in. I love that material, and I'm really like excited that boards are being made out of it, and I'm really honestly kind of into both. But the Alice especially, I mean, only because I could never have gotten in on the Alice in the first place, unfortunately. I don't know how it'll sound, but I hope that it sounds amazing. I really, really do. Like, really. Good sound is a really important quality to keyboards for me. Like, really important. If it sounds annoying to me, like, I'm not gonna... And that doesn't mean clicky, by the way, because there's plenty of clicky keyboards I like. Or clicky switches I like. But if it's rattly or hollow, it's kind of a detractor. Yeah, I think it's probably the biggest quality of importance to me. Of all the things I can think of, like, it's the thing that would turn me on or off to a keyboard immediately, more or less than anything else, if it were being typed on in front of me. Now, obviously, that's not the case for most boards, right? I just see, you see them, see the visual aspect of it, and nobody can really tell you anything more than that, right, until it's made. Renders of models are great, but until there's a proto, at least, you don't get to know. Okay. White Alps group buy. Yeah, I joined that White Alps group buy. Oh, I would love for there to be an Alice PCB that's supported. Anyway, never mind. I joined that White Alps group buy. Did anybody else get in on it? I got like a ton of them. I'm sure there are people that bought more than I did, though. But I bought, for me, as many of them as I could reasonably get, because I want to do some more builds with those White Alps, and those are new old stock. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, unfortunately you have already missed out, because the group buy is over. You got a few. I think Alps sounds better in plastic too. I mean, as far as I can tell, it does. Well, in good plastic cubes, I don't know. It does kind of sound better. You got okay, yeah. I like Blue Alps. This board is a Blue Alps board. And this actually sounds pretty cool, but not as good as it did. Not as good as they did in a K104 body, honestly. It's not far off, but it's not quite as good. Scored from Chile, but literally came in. Where are you at, Jack Saxon? Well, you're here in the U.S., right? Customs had a fit with your... U.S. Customs has never really been that much of a problem for me, honestly. Like, every time I order something, they've never... I don't know. They've never called me or had anything to say or forced me to pay import duty on anything. I hear people in other countries, especially Canada and the UK, worrying about, like, making sure that they claim the right amount so that they don't have to pay extra import duty and stuff. The US, I mean, you're supposed to pay use tax on things that you didn't pay tax for otherwise. But customs has never been the method by which they have shown that they care. California, okay, something in California cared. No, it would have been customs, right? Because California doesn't have its own, like, import people unless you're crossing the actual border into the state. And really, I think those guys are looking for, like, fruit, because they don't want you bringing fruit flies in. Seven unlabeled. That's pretty rough, dude. That's like the worst way ever to ship something like that, especially from South America, right? Probably, like, is it cocaine? You said they came from Chile? I don't know if they even grow coca plant in Chile. I'm guessing they probably do, at least in the northern areas. Alright, so trying to remember what this bottom row is. I think this is... Okay, Alice. Alice? Who the fuck is Alice? Wait. Okay, so now correct me if I'm wrong. This should be 1.5U. And then we have a total of... I need to look at pictures of an Alice. Oh no. No keyboard installed. Oh my god. If I knew the whole bottom row potential, then I would know. I'll just look at a picture. Okay. Oh, you know what though? The customer said that he wanted it exactly like I did another one. So that should actually be pretty straightforward, because I'll just look up my previous YouTube video. And then if he jumps in, he can say something about it. Yeah, so I did a 1U, and then it looks like a 2U, I'm guessing. So this is 3U, which I can verify. But either way, the 1U is going to be the closer one. So that makes that easier. Let me go grab key set. We will verify it. Oh no. You know, I wish there was a key set that offered a second B. Joking. So yeah, I think that's a 1 there. Is it 225? So maybe it's... Yeah, so it's 2.25. So this is 3.25 and then 1.5. Yerp. So now which one of these is the 2.25 support? So I guess you can do 2 and 1.25 and 2.25 and 1. Yeah, so it's got to be this one, right? Herp. Okay, cool. Makes complete sense now. No more confusion. Tack the corners down on this plastic doodad. Who needs an extra B when you can have any? Oh yeah. Dang. Right though, that Hamon. Gotta jump on it on all Enye. Alice, wasn't one of the mass drop pictures all Enyes? I think it was, right? It's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous. Awesome, but kind of ridiculous. Is it okay? Do you do a lot of fusion work, or are you just doing it with you just doing it for these 2 builds, 2 boards? You have a lot of experience otherwise, because I've been messing around in Fusion for a few months. Every now and then I'll jump on, and I've got some cool designs that I've looked at and stuff, but I don't know if it's like anything truly innovative. Why do I still have this here? That's a mistake waiting to happen. So we will move it as soon as we put this down. Sounds like the music stopped. I don't like that. We'll have to get something else going. Powerful. No. Oof, that opened up full volume. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that is much better, though. I'm so sorry if that was super loud. It's crazy loud in my ears, but my volume is usually a little louder than your guys's. I'm trying to think of the tutorial. Are you talking about the thing that was like 5 segments or whatever? Where, was it Huey that was online with him? Do you mind linking the video or shooting it over to me somehow? Or was it like 5 parts that were pretty long? I'm trying to remember. I know I've seen something once upon a time when I was looking at stuff. Oh, okay. So Quantric did one too, then. That makes me pretty happy that people made a tutorial on it, though. I'm gonna have to look at Quantric's now. Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest part of any complex professional design software, even like Photoshop, right? I mean, knowing those keyboard shortcuts takes you from playing around to being professionally efficient, or efficient in a way that would make you effective professionally. A lot of work in Photoshop, Illustrator. Yeah, the shortcuts save tons and tons of time. Oh yeah, hey man, before touching Fusion this time, we're not too far off from each other. I used AutoCAD way back in the day. But I mean, it doesn't take forever. And Fusion is like, the way they've kind of, I don't know, they've affected the industry in a way that's pretty profound. Like, whether you like them or not, whether you like other people more or not, they have started changing the way, like how rapidly people are able to access the tech and start actually doing things. And it's really good, I think. Okay, those look pretty good. Now let's lube up the actual stabs and screw them in. The 50 is what you've been using, a small numpad with 40%. Hey, you know what? I don't hate you. I love full size. I need more full size in my life too. I want more full size customs, not just, well, I kind of am dumb for not having jumped in on the TX 108. But when I see one up for sale, I might jump on one. Or if I find out about somebody trying to get rid of one or something. As long as they don't look like the current TX 84 or SE or whatever, the new one that he's doing. And I guess the new 1800, right? Where it's got those weird cutouts on the front for the diffuser, instead of it being a diffuser that goes all the way around. Just pokes out in certain areas. That looks super dumb. The pictures that I saw, I was like, whoa. Do not like. I'm not hating on the guy who made them. It's just not a design choice that I would like. Like, to me, that is super silly. I don't want my keyboard to look like that. But I don't think the 108 looks like that. In fact, I'm fairly sure it doesn't. It's the older style. And as much as I say bad things about that thing, I love TX boards in general. Up until that, they're pretty amazing for the price. Hard to beat that bang for the buck. Especially in the secondary sales. F122 remake, huh? F122 remake? Nice. What are you planning on doing? Just making, well, I mean, so it's a teaser, but now I'm gonna ask, right? What are you planning on doing? Are you planning on doing, like make your own PCB and, oh man, how are you even gonna make that? That's cool, but how? More details, please. Are you gonna use, obviously, you're not gonna use some crazy buckling spring design. What are you gonna... Is it gonna use Cherry MX switches and just look like a 122 and be curved like that? You opened so many questions in my mind. Need those answers. New PCB angled top section for MX and Alps with ultra high molecular weight, thick case. Now that sounds amazing, man. What order are you releasing these in? And I believe you're new to group buys, right? In general, or to some extent. I don't know, man. I'm bad with tracking people's names and stuff. I try. But the ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, and I'm not saying that to question your cred, right? I'm just saying that's your first big group buy. So maybe you don't have the answer to my question, but like on what timeline are you planning on executing these? I'm asking because I'm interested in all of them, and I need to budget accordingly. If you're actually going to run them. Which keycap set are we talking about here? Oh, DSA Borealis. Yeah, that's a beautiful keycap set. If you like that gradient type thing, that's beautiful. You could try and post a mech market want to buy, or you know what I mean, want that thing, have PayPal kind of deal, and see if anybody responds and is like, oh, I got that. Very possible they would. Plenty of people read it. You're at TKL first, then Alice, then 60%, then 122. Okay. Well, I will almost certainly skip the 60% because I'm not a 60% guy, really. But the rest of those all sound amazing to me. And hopefully somebody has me build one of the 60%s, because I definitely want to see it. It feels bad, but like the 60% that I have, I don't use them at all. I have a couple and I don't touch them, not even a little bit. I don't have cool custom ones, but I know enough to know that I shouldn't buy a cool custom 60% for me. I can appreciate their beauty. I really, really can. Okay. Well, if you want to, you can reveal it here, but if you don't, I understand. Feel free to let me know if you want. I'll keep things private if people want me to. I like joining in group buys, though. Hey, how's it going? Okay, so I've seen your name a couple times in here. Is it Chokin Kibi? Chalk and keyboard, or like, how do you say your name? I'm so curious. Chalk and KB. That's how I would say it right off the bat, but. So FYI, I will not be around next Wednesday. I know I've said it before, but I won't be here next Wednesday. But I am going to try and make up for it by either that Thursday or Friday, or maybe Saturday. I haven't figured it out 100% yet. It's partially going to be dependent on my day, because the very first day I get back, my work day is going to be hellaciously rough. Like, just really slammed. I have a thing that I know is going on that's already going to be crazy. And I'll have been out of contact for a week. Or roughly out of contact. Not at work, at least. And I got some big projects going, so for me, it's just, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll have, I'm trying to think of what I'll stream when I get back. I have a bunch of builds in the queue right now. I have an M65A, a acrylic tofu. I think that's what's up next. I have, what else do I have over here? Yeah, so tofu acrylic, M65A, a clue board, and a pretty generic 60% tray mount case that someone wanted me to do. So yeah, that's what I got coming up. And then I have a bunch of stuff of my own that at some point I gotta fill in. I might have to start streaming a little bit more often at some point. I just don't know how I'm gonna fit them in, where, when. And as summer approaches, I'm gonna have to figure something else out, because this room that I'm in right now, it's pleasant in here right now, but when it becomes summer with the computers in here, for one, I'm gonna have to switch to a single computer stream just to save on heat. But then I don't know what I'm gonna do otherwise. I might have to like put a little roll around air conditioning unit that I have or something in here, because it just gets too hot. It's a fat Q, thanks, man. Yeah, you know, the funny thing is I haven't advertised my services in a while, because people keep contacting me off the second post that I made. The first post I made, people contacted me and it did well, but the second one, I don't know, it was roughly the same text. It just, I think, I honestly will attribute some of it to like Nathan Kim jumped in and was like, hey, this guy does cool stuff, and Heinebush, you know, gave good props and stuff in there too, and I think it helps. I think it helps when other community people are like, hey, I've talked to this guy and seen his work, and I think it's cool. And then of course customers did too. Some of the customers jumped in and were like, hey, this thing. So I did this one. I did this one. I didn't put stuff in it. Okay, that's weird. Guess I'll just do this one too, that way. You wanted to go for a while, but never been. Ooh. It's like Hawaii, but Japan. I don't know. I'm down to check it out. I know somebody at my work who was stationed in Okinawa for a while. In the military. While he was in the military. A long time ago, but anyway, he said that it was freaking awesome. I'm definitely down to check that out. You know what? You know what's really messed up? My cruise was just supposed to go to the Monterey. The cruise that I took recently was supposed to go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Well, it was supposed to go to Monterey Bay. And it did actually go. We just couldn't get out of the ship because the seas were too high. So they left. And we went to San Diego, which worked out well for me because I got to go see some family. But still, would have been cool to go to the aquarium. Okay, so I think we're ready to throw these stabs on. Get this thing rolling. Sorry, guys. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, do we have 10 in here? Guessing that's how many we got. Well, I have the tool to count, I guess. Looks like 10. Okay, so there's that. Here's these. You worked at Monterey Bay Aquarium. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Hey man, I hope you really loved working there. I'm guessing you don't work there now, since you said worked past tense. Come on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that looks like 10. It's 10. Cool. Oh, cool. Santa Cruz is nice. Santa Cruz is really nice, actually. I had some friends. Well, I have some friends who live in Santa Cruz still. I just haven't talked to them in a while. They used to live down near LA. And I lived closer to LA before. I'm still not that far, but I lived closer. And that's how I met them. But they moved. They love Santa Cruz, and I visited it. It is really nice there. Just a big drug and homeless problem? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of everywhere right now, right? Wife at Shed Aquarium. Beluga whale brought her the ring box. That's amazing. Wow. I didn't even know that was possible. How crazy romantic. I choreographed these whales for you. That's crazy. Oh, the shed. I had no idea. Never heard of it. I'll have to check it out the next time I'm in Chicago. Doesn't happen that often, but it does happen every now and then. If anyone reads Fantasy, Jim Butcher's Dresden Files has a story at the shed. Just outed myself as being... Okay, so check it out. I've actually been reading the Dresden Files. Obviously, I'm not to that book yet. I think I'm on the 5th one or 6th one. I don't know. There are a bunch of them, right? There's like 14 of them or something. Anyway, I was this year reading or listening to... I started reading them this year, so I have not finished. And for the record, audiobooks. I'm listening to them on audio. No. You're not that extra level nerdy, man. Is he that? I don't know. I feel like he's not that high of a bar in this community, especially. You're the right level of nerdy for our community. I don't know, though. You know, the funny thing is even in communities that I've been in where people are like, where you think of them as macho on the side or something like that, they're actually, they have plenty of nerds in them. Being nerdy isn't that big of a deal or bad now. Mostly just because other people look at people who call nerdy people out for being nerdy as a-holes, as the a-holes that they are, honestly. Like, people should be into the things they're into. And we're into keyboards, man. This is probably the nerdiest thing to be into that there is. So unless you stumbled in here from a maker channel and you're like, no, I'm just into people making stuff. I'm not into keyboards, which I know you didn't. Right, you're part of our community. Then we're already super nerdy, but that's okay. That's a good thing, in fact. Turns out I like hanging out with nerds. I mean, there are people that can nerd out hard enough where I'm just like, okay, stop. But not really about the things I'm passionate about, too. It's usually when they're passionate about something that I'm not really that into, or I'm only passingly into. But usually I can listen to somebody nerding out about something, anything, for at least a little while. Mostly because I'm interested in the technical details, right? Oh, take it easy, Jackstastic. Hope your night goes okay. Alrighty then. Stabs accomplished. Stabilizers made. Oh no. Sorry, guys. Yarp. Alright, let's get these stabs in. On, in. That thing. Where did my tweezers go? There's some tweezers. No. All right. This TGR board, I don't know, man. They're pretty well made. So, like, funny thing is probably don't even need these washers in most locations. Like, definitely not in this location. I just add them anyway. Oh, hey, Pilot XJ, man. Thanks for following. I appreciate that. I really do. Hey, what's up, Sir Two Changes? How you doing? How's your night going so far? Feel like it's been a good night over here so far. got back from work. Oof. I don't know where you're at, but for me that would be late. That would be a late arrival back from work. Oh, hey, how's it going, man? I did not know your Twitch name. So yeah, here's where we are. There, SMD stuff mounted. I'll show you. Just, you know, for your own edification. Yeah, man, me too. Glad you did as well. I was just commenting earlier on how amazing that color is. Truly, truly love that color. So you said before that you wanted it exactly the layout of the one that I made previously. So the only thing that was split or not standard ANSI, with the exception of the bottom row, of course, on that board was the split right shift. So that's how I'm laying this out. And you sent the correct number of stabilizers for that, so I'm guessing you're 100% sure. But since you're here, oh no, that's irritating. Yeah, man, I was just commenting on how amazing looking this red board is. Okay. Fingers it is. Arr. I guess I should be holding this up over here so you guys can see what's going miserably wrong. But basically, it's this stupid washer. For whatever in this position, the washer just wants to slip away. So does the screw. All right. Try this one more time. But carefully. That explains it. The stabilizer came unseated from that hole. The red is beautiful, yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead. Do do do. Trying to get this. Yeah, I think a lot of people like split backspace on these and on condensed formats. I can never get used to split backspace. It's too ingrained in my brain to have that full-size backspace. Okay, so we only have one left. again. It should be the one. Yes, closer to the center, because we're doing 225 and 1. That's right. Just wanted to make sure. Don't want to get that bottom row wrong. To desolder a bunch of stuff afterward. It'd be miserable. It'd be truly miserable. We're still gonna fit check this right now because I really don't want to get that wrong. Come on. Apparently I need a different kind of tweezer. Or a different, steadier hand. Okay. That should be all of them, so we'll actuate all the actual stabilizers, make sure both sides come up. Okay, that works. Move this off, out of the way, and then we will throw that 2U shift, or 2.25U shift, rather. Make sure there's 1U of space. And no overhang. No overhang. 1U. Yep. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. But 1U, 2.25, 1.5. 2.75? No. Yes? I think so. Yeah, 2.75. And then 1.5. 1.5s. Cool. We good. All right. Now we're gonna get some soldering going. Hey, what's up, man? Yep, so now I'm gonna bust out the iron, which apparently I had on this whole time. Well, I was in sleep mode, so it wasn't on. Anyway. Oh yeah. Okay. Got some good spacing around the board. We're going to tack a few down in the corners, make sure everything's leveled out, and we're going to throw the rest in. And so, if you guys haven't watched this before, kind of know that what I do is I put a fair bit of pressure on this side one, on the first one, or on the board near it. Not like a ton, but a fair bit, right? Because what I want to do is get pressure all around it so that it's seated all the way. And you want to do this kind of thing for the first couple. In the corners and in the center. So the board's, you know, just seated really well. So now that side's tacked down. We're going to get this other side tacked down really well. Doing the same kind of thing. And then we're going to throw this fan on, so we're not... Alright, oh no. Forgot about all these little Band-Aid strip things. Just got blown away. It's okay though. Hopefully that's not too loud. Okay, so now all four corners are tacked down. Get some of these ones in the middle span. Right. In the middle down here. Make sure they're pretty level. Okay, so now we only have like one more before we throw the rest of the switches in, or at least some more switches depending on how it looks. Okay, I actually like the fan. I mean, having the fan that sucks it away, they just tend not to be that powerful. That's my take on them. I mean, plus I have this fan, so I guess I'm kind of cheap in that way, but I don't know. The activated charcoal filter doesn't provide much protection. Plus it doesn't get that lead smoky in here, really. It doesn't really get lead smoky in the room at all. You know, like visible haze. So, if you guys are wondering what I'm doing, I'm looking at the gap. Make sure the gaps look even between the switch and the PCB. And I'm doing that especially on this Alice. This is a thing that you should do on every board, really. But on the Alice, for some reason, with its tight plate and its tolerances, I think it's pretty much better to look at it and just check it. I mean, I didn't have a significant problem with the one I built before, but I did start, I think, noticing that it was a little off right before I started soldering and took extra caution. So I would do that if you're doing an LS. Might as well. Anyway. I like the fan. That's my take on the fan. Go fan. Okay, I think you might have sent me more than I need. I'm not sure. I don't remember how many there were. Fairly certain there were more than were absolutely required. So. Alice plate is super tight. No. Do not like. Okay, I need to move this out of the way. Making sure these pins are really straight. Yeah, I think the fan's for the win, honestly. If you're like in a place where it gets real solder smoky, then you need to be maybe considering something different. Like if you're doing a lot of soldering and there's not good ventilation, you need a fume extractor. You just do. You don't want to be breathing in lead. Okay. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys... Obviously, some of you guys solder. Like, do you have other preferences? Do you prefer the fume extractor? I feel like they never suck all the fumes out, and I always get some in my face anyway. And if that's the case, I'd rather blow it out of the way before it goes into my nostrils, and then just either not be soldering enough in this room for it to be a big deal, or add ventilation to some extent. Okay, so fairly sure we did stepped caps on that other board, and honestly, if I were building an Alice, for me, I would want stepped caps no matter what. Hopefully that's what you want. Feel free to chime in. If you don't, I'll remove it. Okay. This is coming along. Yeah, man, we're going all out with your TGR, Alice. We're doing literally the only thing we aren't doing to yours is adding in-switch LEDs, which, yeah, I don't think you should do on the Alice. I don't think it looks particularly great because of the gaps in the angle parts. Like, you're gonna see more shine through there off the plate. I mean, maybe you want that. I could see that being good with some color schemes, with an appropriate color scheme. Yeah, me too. Step caps for the win. All the time, every time, stepped caps, in my opinion. If you can. Unless you have like a keycap set in mind or something that doesn't support it for some reason. It's literally the only reason that I would, if it were mine, that I would do it that way. Or I wouldn't do stepped, I mean. The Alice plate is so tight that the Yoks, which are fairly big, are a pain to get in. Luckily, I think you came to the right guy for it. Hardened thumbs from years of making different things and fitting different metal things. So, out of curiosity, what made you go with the clear halos instead of the Halo Trues? No criticism, I'm just wondering. I think most people, right, because technically, I guess these are, what are these, unholy Yoks? Is that what those are called? No, that's with the different spring. Trying to remember, and I'm failing. My brain really isn't on that, though, I guess. I'm really kind of on this. Oh, yeah. I mean, it feels nice. I'm not hating on it at all. I think it's good. I have a variety of things in my boards. So, are you comfortable with Bootmapper? Do you want me to leave whatever the default format is on here? Or do you want me to modify it to have a certain key layout? I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. You should probably let me know. Okay. And I'm guessing you want your diffuser installed. I mean, I would want to see what it looks like with some underglow. Alrighty then. Everything looks really good. They're all in there. Cool. Let's get this thing soldered together. And then we can get this thing done. Get it shipped out to you. Heating back up. Alrighty. Hope spacebar doesn't need jumping. Right though, man. No, I mean we smoke tested this. It's all good. Not like last build. Ugh. Last couple builds have been a little brutal compared to this one. This one's been easy so far. Knock on wood. What you guys didn't see that was difficult with this board, which I did off stream on purpose just because I was sick, so I had all the time today, is when I did these these LEDs, I couldn't remember if it started going counterclockwise from the controller, or if it started going clockwise from the controller, or if it started from the port going one way or the other. So I soldered this one in, and it didn't work. So then I soldered this one in, and it didn't work. And then I soldered this one in, and it did work. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I soldered all these in, and they worked progressively until I got to this, and then these two worked, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, there is absolutely... But, I mean, I just couldn't remember which way it went, and I knew... I mean, I knew I was going to get it no matter what. Like, it's boot mapper, so it's pretty straightforward to turn the LEDs on and off. Why is that on commute? Okay. Okay. Just a little bit too much on there. There was a bunch on the actual iron. That globbed off all at once. Somehow, because the tip wasn't as clean as it could have been. Yeah, so when I did that, I mean, it wasn't that fretting. I knew when I found the starting point it would all work just fine, but I knew that it would be good. So yeah, last stream we had little PCB stuff. The stream before we had expected PCB stuff that happened behind the scenes that you guys didn't see, and then unexpected on another board from the same customer. It's okay. I mean, like, it wasn't his fault. It happens. Then you figure it out, and it feels better. I don't know, the 90% of the time when people build their own boards, they run into no issues. You know, but that 10%, it is kind of nice to have somebody who's encountered one or two problems before and is willing to adjust for you, make it work. I am happy to be building this cool board, though. Actually, I'm blessed to be building a lot of really awesome boards in general. Like, that's what's cool about this gig for me. I mean, a little bit extra Joe doesn't hurt, but it's not like I make a ton doing what I'm doing. But it pays for some keep stuff. That's kind of cool. However, the real benefit is getting to play with all the cool keyboards. For me. Yep. So for anybody that missed it, like I said, I'm not gonna be streaming next Wednesday, but I'm gonna try and make up for it on the weekend. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, maybe both, may even be Sunday. I have a fair bit of backlog of boards and of builds, and if I can, I'll know sometime this week if I'll be able to cut that much time free next week. And anyway, and if I can, then I'll probably put out another board building services thing, and I'll just start slamming them out real quick. Not real quick, but I mean, apparently I missed a whole row. Don't know how I did that. I mean, I'll just do more streams total throughout the week if I do it that way. I try and do extra streams in the middle when I have a customer who like has a need date that's really soon for some reason. If somebody's like, I absolutely need this board by whatever time, if I can accommodate that, I will. I mean, if it gets abusive or something, then I'll just be strict about it, but it hasn't been so far. People have been cool about it. I've had people be like, oh yeah, you know, when do you think? I'll tell them when. It would probably normally enter my queue. And usually they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Or they're like, oh, I kind of need a little sooner than that or something. And I'll try and work with them. But it's still always like, I mean, I have a wife and they have lives, so they kind of get it. Okay, that actually looks done now. Done? Done? Yeah, okay, okay. For now. Let's test all the switches work, and then we'll hit up some LEDs. Boom, those all still work, good. Let's get the switch hitter up again. Caps is mapped to control. And then I think it's... So I programmed this board to have off and on. Anyway, cool. Cool. So now we're going to do the LEDs on the top, and then we're pretty much done. You have number 32, by the way. Indicator LEDs go in next. Perfect fit. So I did not program anything into these indicator positions. So I do not know if that'll work or not right off the bat. I mean, I know they'll go in. I just don't know if they'll work programmatically. Okay. So we're going to get a screw in there. 2 screws in there, actually. So we can tack this thing down. Maybe 3 screws? I don't know. Whatever, some screws. Yeah, 2. Okay. I'm going to see that they're making contact. I believe they are. Sweet. Oh yeah, they're definitely in the little sockets now. Anyway, so I don't like bending these over. I think that that's not good. It's not terrible because you're probably never going to remove them, but it can damage the PCB if you ever go to remove them. So I don't do it that way. Okay. So I'm hoping that I have the anode side correct. Okay. Well, at least I know they're in the correct direction. Because scroll lock is on. Yep. Okay, so we're going to clip those real quick. Okay. Now we're actually done with that anyway, so let me put the rest of these in. Okay. So yeah, man, your board is coming together real nice, I would say. Pretty much killed it. Nice and tight. Okay. Bingo bango. Ooh, let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. We got one more thing to do for this. Ooh, yeah. There we go. So if you notice, I started on the inside corner here. That's because I don't want any blemishes to be noticeable on the outside. So if you scratch this diffuser or something on the inside, it's way less of a big deal than if you scratch it on the outside and someone notices. Now, is that actually a big deal? Is anyone actually going to notice? No. However, that doesn't matter. Try not to, right? Try to do the best you can. But there's always the possibility of damage, right? And so now in this case, we're going to try near the center or the top of the lift. Again, so if we scratch it, we do it near the pin, near the screw hole, not the outside. So the reason well, there are many reasons it could have ripped, but one reason that it probably ripped is because I had my hand way far away like this. And if you're really choked up on it like this, you can kind of control force application and prevent flex in this, and it's snapping back and ripping the paper. Whatever. The point is, if you have your hand choked up on it like this a little bit better, you're way less likely to do that thing. There's enough there for me to get it with my fingernail though this time. Do you regret not buying the RGB kit? Why, man? Oh, come on. This looks nice, but I wouldn't regret it. Like, the Alice is beautiful either way. And if you have the acrylic, what's it called? Wrist rest that came with it. I don't know if you do, or any of the wrist rests that came with them, as far as I know. Then the height is set for you to not have this, for those to work correctly. So it's just my understanding. Maybe somebody made one that does go with it, I don't know. What would be really cool is if somebody made a wrist rest that took advantage of the underglow. Like that acrylic one that I had, if that guy had wanted the underglow and then had attached his, that one that I built, like if that guy wanted it, I don't know, that acrylic wrist rest could have been pretty cool. You ordered a custom wood rest? Oh, is it height? Is it set up height-wise for this? For it with the diffuser on, I wonder? The acrylic is freaking cool. That was a beautiful board. But were like tiny blemishes in the acrylic. And I'm fairly certain it came that way. They weren't big, but they were like noticeable to my naked eye. Not to the camera very well, though. Yeah, okay. That's a good way of overcoming if it isn't correct. Oh, this is gonna be a beautiful board, man. Looks crazy pretty from where I'm sitting. Why didn't I hear it back out? Is these long enough? Do you need longer screws for this? I think you do. Yeah. If it does bite, it'll bite by like one thread at max. Try. I'll see if it'll go. Oof. Yeah, like 2 turns maybe. Yeah, it does not seem to be biting. They are all the same size, right? Front and back. I think they are. They all appear to be if they aren't. This one would bite by like 1 thread. I think you need other screws, man. Did it come with other screws? I didn't see any in case. This one's actually longer. Not by much, though. Yeah, you need longer screws, man. For sure. Now I feel bad because I took your acrylic protector off. You look in your box, but I don't think there was longer screws. These are the same length. Oh, I'm not going to worry about it. I just want you to get what you need, you know? Yep, okay. Yeah, I'll throw your acrylic piece back in, the protector. It just doesn't have the center supports now, or the guard on it. Should be fine, but... I'm like I'm like, maybe I have, I'm not gonna look. It's like if I had just like 4 screws, you know what I mean? They can hold it together. But I won't have ones that are tapered right. Like you need to order specific screws. Yeah, this corner would bite by like 1 thread and this one wouldn't. But that's all stuff that you can do, and you know the LED underglow works, and you've seen every color work, so... Well, the stream has. I'm guessing you have. You saw me cycle through them, right? So you saw them. Loosen these corners just a tiny little bit. Nice Loctite on that screw. So you look, I just got all the screws in, so they're like centered. I can try and center the side of the board really well. So it feels good by hand. It's where the gaps and overhang don't feel bad. Tighten all those corners. Man. I feel like the acrylic diffuser isn't that thick, like it feels like it should fit, but just didn't quite. Anyway. Okay, so I really don't have that many sets that will work on this. I have black on, or white on black and blue on black, and then probably black on white. And I have a feeling that either black on white or white on black look the best. And white on black looks good on everything. So I think I'm administratively just going to say we're doing that one since it's out. And this might just be the set that I use on Alice from now on. We're going to throw these bad boys on. Not 275. 175 shift. Derp. Oh wait, we were going to use the 275. Oh, we're going to turn this off, though. Oh, yeah. Man, I love this board. This is a beautiful, beautiful board. It really, really is. Where is my 1U FM? There it is. That's wrong. Helps if I get that right, huh? I'm gonna move this stuff out of the way. No, that was right. Man, so do you have Hamon? Did you get in on the Hamon buy on Mastrap? Because the images, the renders with Hamon on this Red Alice look freaking awesome, I think. Plus you just gotta have a whole board of NEAs. Like, I don't remember if it was Jack Sastic or somebody earlier. Dang. You have to pick it up sometime, man, because I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay. Win. You win. You win. Dang, dude. Red Samurai is so expensive right now. I was looking on, like, one sold for like $450 or something. It's like, oof. Yeah, Red Samurai would look amazing on this board. Should send it, man. I'm joking. I do have customers send their own keycap sets, though, sometimes. In fact, I've got some customer keycap sets that they want to see on their board on their build in the future. And that's okay. It will look good on it. It will absolutely look good. This set just looks classic on everything because it's the most classic set anywhere. Outside of, you know, beige, which wouldn't look great on this board anyway. Just black goes well with almost everything. Did I do this right? I feel like this whole top row might be off. Like, is there supposed to be an Enye in there? No? Okay. Oh no, I knew 7 bridged one of the gaps. Okay. Anyway. What if you can see any glow through it at all because the gaps are so small, even on the bottom ones? Yeah, you can't see anything. The plate gaps are so small, I mean. Yeah, none whatsoever. I mean, it does glow. We saw it. Just we're not gonna see it because acrylic diffuser too strong. I'm super bummed. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, dang it. Forgot there's a second B. Which is cool. I wish there was a second Y. That'd be kind of useful for me because I actually, my touch typing, like I do drift my fingers quite a bit, so. What do I want to use? Okay, here you go, control. So it's pause, scroll up, print, just like I would think. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have the B. Oof. Oh, boys and girls. That sounds amazing. IMO. Anyway, we're gonna move it over to the other station. So I'll be right back. Oh, that's not what we're looking for. Side-by-side shot of the, what are you talking about? Side-by-side shot of what? Boop beep up. Of the salamander and this? Sure. I could do that. Well, I can show one on top of the other shot anyway. They're almost about exactly the same width. The Alice is like maybe 3/8 of an inch less. Anyway, we're gonna move this off because as cool as it is, the Alice is cooler, in my opinion. Shall we typing test it out? Oh man, I'm gonna be so bad at this. I'm so bad at it because I don't have one, so I don't use it. So I don't use the layouts at all. Plus, yeah, I'll live. Okay, let's do it. I do, right? I just gotta get one, and then I can be okay at this. Okay, so anyway. Okay. It's gonna be really bad, but I'll try. Is this looking okay to you guys? Yeah? No? Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it centered because, you know. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, we're not doing it yet. Backspace is backslash. They're mapped backward. Oh no. That's irritating. Psych. Do I have bootmapper client on this computer? I don't even know that I have bootmapper client on this computer, on this rig. All right, we're gonna move it. Plus I'm gonna turn off the sound anyway when we do that. In fact, I'm gonna pause it right now. I'm gonna go remap it so that those are correct. And then we can try again. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I do have bootmapper client over here. I am going to do a screen cap of it. Capture. No capture. Create a new one. Bootmapper client. Yep. Anyway. So. Yeah, I thought it was too. It is relatively easy. This isn't that hard. It's just can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, it looks like you can. Just gonna have to remap it. Okay, so switch header shows backspace and backslash. They need to be replaced. Okay, easy peasy. Download. So where are you? So this should be row and row. Okay. So that should be that. That should be that. Upload. Go. Also, because you don't have your thing, I don't want it to shine through. So I'm going to go to options, connect, and I'm actually going to turn all the LEDs off. Just FYI. Ooh, I love that. Nice, nice freaking squid. Or octopus? Octopus. Well, octopus. Anyway, okay. Should be better. Should be better. Should be better. Now we can try again with the typing test. We'll move this microphone down here so you guys can hear it. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Oh my God. I'm just getting ahead of myself. Okay, try again. What the hell? This is bad. Dude, that was terrible. Sorry, guys. That was awful. Try again. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with the like angle. My fingers want to like dance around the wrong way. I think I got better. Yeah. I will send it on along. Yeah, I don't know, the first one that I had, I think I typed a little faster. I had the wrist rest up and I must have just been adjusted right so that it wasn't all awkward for my fingers. I'm like having a hard time. And I'm LG? Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. Anyway, this thing is freaking beautiful. Wish it was mine. Wish I could keep it. Honestly. Honestly, man. You have a great, great board here. Alright, so I'm going to pull these caps off. I'm going to take a couple shots of it for posting. I'm going to pack it up and send it off tomorrow. You should have yours pretty quick, but you've got this microphone here if you guys want to listen to this real quick. This sounds amazing. All right, man. You guys have a great week. I won't see you guys Wednesday, but I will see you. I will absolutely see you guys, and girls. I forget sometimes how many guys and gals there are, respectively. Anyway, I will absolutely see you guys next week sometime. It won't be Wednesday. It'll be after. It'll either be Friday or Saturday. Maybe Sunday, maybe all three or just two of those. I'll post something in my stream title when I know when the next one's going to be, and you guys should have a better idea a little bit later this week because I will be out next Wednesday. But when I return, I'm going to do, I believe the next board is going to be a tofu acrylic with a bunch of underglow. So that'll be kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it. I actually like the tofu acrylic. I've handled the case. And then I'm going to be doing I think an M65 and a clue board and a 60% for someone else. Pretty generic 60% actually for somebody else. And then I've had some other interests, so we'll see what happens. But in the queue right now, literally sitting here waiting for me are those things. So without further ado, I hope all of you guys have a great night, a great week, great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye. You are very welcome. Thank you.